This week's episode is sponsored by ExtraStatic. ExtraStatic is a hosting service for Svelte blogs. Svelte blogs combine the simple conventions of Jekyll with the incredible power of Svelte. Check it out at extrastatic.com.
Radio.
Hey, it's another Svelte Radio episode. Today we have all of the hosts are back. Yay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, there he is. Sean's back. So, what have you guys been up to?
Been very busy. Work stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
I am finally in New York, which is a bit of a homecoming for me. The last time I was here was when COVID happened and everything shut down. And yeah, it's nice to be back.
Yeah. Nice.
That apartment you're in looks very spacious.
It's a hostel. It's like a co-working area. I basically I don't have to save the money, but if I don't need to spend extra money to stay in a hotel, I'm going to stay in a hostel. So in the US, I think I recommend this network of hostels called Hosteling International. I guess that's my pick already because they have a hostel in every major city, and it's probably the cheapest accommodation you can get. So Here I'm staying in New York City. I can get anywhere in town for in 30 minutes, and it's $60-something a night.
Oh, that's cheap.
It's pretty cheap.
Wow.
It's a good place. I mean, obviously it's a shared bunk bed type situation, but
yeah,
whatever.
That can be fun as well. If you, depending on what kind of trip
if you
you
have
want to
buddies
do
as well, yeah. But I'm usually traveling by myself.
Right.
I met some lifelong friends in a hostel in New York. Oddly enough.
Oh, we don't talk at all. Everyone just does their own thing.
Oh no, we talked. We talked. We drank mate. We had loads of great fun. It was really a life experience. And also the other life experience was that the hostel was in Harlem and it had rats running around the floor and it had cold showers. So there's lots to talk about.
Yeah. You mentioned this last time. Yeah.
It was fun. It was definitely fun.
Yeah, that sounds a bit scary. All right,
Yeah.
so you're traveling around, Sean. What about you, Antony? What are you doing?
Well, not traveling. The opposite. Basically, staying at home working. I think it's basically how it works out. Yeah, just hired another person. Well, we hired him a while ago, but he's now joined, so that's fun. Trying to actually manage the team, which is, again, like I said, I think last week, it's a new challenge for me, really. But but it seems to be going pretty well.
That's good.
Yeah, stuff's getting delivered. It's high quality. I'm pretty happy with it. So, yay to scaling,
Nice.
I guess. That's what we do.
Can't just run this one small instance of your application anymore. You have to split it up into microservices and all that.
we get into software scaling. That's a whole new ball game. We're still figuring out our sort of QA strategy for that, but all good fun and games.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
And summer's here in England. Sorry.
Yeah. No, spring is here in Stockholm. So
well, it's technically spring, but it's so hot today, and we've got the windows open and everything, so it's kind of like a mini summer.
That sounds nice. Yeah, so what have I been up to? I've been working on the Svelte Summit site and the upcoming fall event as well. So I guess I can give a short update. So we've released 2 of the 12 sessions that we're going to have at the spring event. So we have Svelte, a shortcut to accessibility by Josephine Schaefer. Sorry, Josephine. I tried. And we also have Svelte Native in production, which is, I'm pretty excited about that one. I don't think we've ever had a Svelte Native talk by Kyohei Hamaguchi. I think he did a talk last time as well. So those are interesting. And we also have a number of other talks coming up as well. And we're bringing back the meatball sessions, in case you like those from 2 summits ago. So yeah, we're going to release more of the talks during this week and next week and the week after, I think. So there's that. Yeah, that's pretty much the spring event. And then there's also the fall event, which most people probably haven't heard about, but there's an in-person Svelte Summit coming up in fall. So that's September 8th and 9th. So it's 2 days of a lot of Svelte talks, and I've got some exciting speakers that will be sharing their knowledge. Rich has confirmed that he's coming, so that's nice. Penguin is also coming, Pete Allen, I'm sure most of you have heard about him. And I'm also talking to a lot of other speakers that I'm going to announce as we get closer. You can buy tickets already. The super early bird ones are almost running out. I think there are like 3 left. So if you want to grab one of those, that's a good idea to do now. But yeah, we have a venue. It's a newly built place. I might have talked about this last time, but I might as well talk about it again. So
you built a venue just for Svelte Summit. I mean, that's dedication.
Yeah, built using Svelte, of course, Svelte kit.
Oh, in Svelte as well. Wow.
Yeah. I just did like a custom renderer for bricks instead of HTML elements.
It's like 3D printing. Svelte really native. It's called Svelte really native. Svelte physical.
Yeah. All right. So I guess that's a status update of what we've all been up to. So let's get into to the fun parts of the podcast. There's a new feature. So you know how Svelte :component is a thing where you can pass in components? You can now do but with elements, and it's called Svelte :elements, which is pretty nice. And it's exactly what you'd expect, right? It's you can pass in a tag name and it'll render the corresponding HTML tag name. So yeah, it's not particularly, sorry?
I was going to say, it saves you from, if you previously, for example, we have like a field component that can do like password fields, text fields. It could do text area as well, but it can do like, if you click the I icon, it will change it to a password field. So right now you've got loads of if statements to get that working. It works, but it's pretty ugly.
Yeah.
So what this does is it allows you to replace that with a single tag.
Yeah, I think the main use case for this is like people that work with CMSs, right? Where you get like a JSON tree of some content maybe, and you want to just like render the correct HTML. You kind of had to do like, you kind of had to do like this weird 50 if statement thing where you had all of the elements, which is, it wasn't fun.
Yeah, I don't even know it's just CMSs actually. I think that it's used for any kind of admin application really, because
definitely
if you define like a CRUD model and you don't want to build the same old form for each of your CRUD models, you can use this instead and render it dynamically, which is something that I've been sort of wanting to do for years, and we kind of do it in some respects, but it's pretty ugly at the moment.
Yeah. So I think this, let's see if we can find the PR. This PR has been open for a pretty long time, right? It's I think
2 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
6898. Actually, the PR has been open since November last year, so not that long. But the issue was open since October 2020.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I remember we've probably talked about this a couple of times on the podcast about how it'd be nice to have this.
So I my question is, why does it why do we need a separate API for Svelte component and Svelte element?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess it's since it's an element and not a component. But then you could probably rename it to, I don't know, Svelte :dynamic or something.
Svelte thing, and then and then it just does both.
I felt like I knew the answer to this because it was brought up when someone suggested another.
I'm sure it was discussed.
But I don't know what it is, and I can't remember now. It's quite infuriating. But there was definitely a reason why you can't use it both.
Maybe it's something along the lines of breaking changes or something. I guess
no, it's not that. It's something more fundamental.
There's some very basic heuristics, like same like React. If it's uppercase, it's a component. If it's lowercase, it's an element. That's it.
Yep, could do that. I guess that would make it easier for React people coming over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Svelte uses the exact same heuristics for.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. So there's no difference at all. Anyway,
it's not hard and fast. You just get warned about it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I think it's important to study this with use cases. So I put a couple in the show notes, and hopefully that will help people use this.
Yeah. And we should probably give a shout out to the guy that made the PR, Yuichiro Yamashita. Oh, my Japanese is rusty. Sorry.
That's not bad.
But yeah.
Yeah, the pronunciation sounds. Pronunciation, like I know.
I did study Japanese for a couple of years, so
yeah,
kind of cheating, but
it shows.
That was a long time ago. But yeah, so is he doing any other kind of cool stuff? Do you know
look
Antony?
at his GitHub. Oh my God, it's so green. Okay, so he's a frequent contributor to Svelte Kit and Svelte, and he has a side project called Kvelt. Kvelt is Svelte in Kotlin.
Wow. There's someone in the Discord that always harps on about Kotlin.
Maybe it's
I
him.
don't remember who it is. Oh no, it's this it's the Tails person.
Okay. Yeah. No, this he has a. I'm just like kind of browsing through his GitHub. Yeah, so he's doing a lot of stuff, just random poking around, but it looks like he's interested in WebAssembly, Kotlin, Svelte, good stuff.
Yep. Let's put his GitHub in the links here in the notes.
Cool. Anything else? What's the implication? What's next? Is are there any more fancy Svelte colon elements that might be introduced?
There will be obviously in the future. There isn't any immediate plans, I don't think.
There will be what in the future?
There might be more, Svelte colon tags in the future, but there aren't any immediate plans for any that I know of anyway.
So I have a question about this Svelte colon element thing. Can you put a Svelte colon body tag inside of a Svelte colon element as the tag?
Don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
You would need some kind of recursion.
Yeah.
Why do you want that?
No, I was just thinking about it. Also,
okay.
Just if it's possible. No real reason.
Come up with a use case and propose it. Let's see.
Yeah. All right. Should we talk a bit about this other PR that's been?
Oh yeah, super neat.
Yeah.
Okay, I can. Antony spotted it, so I guess you're the best person to talk about it, and then I can give some background on Turbo Repo, I guess.
Yeah, I just spotted it being talked about, and Rich opened a PR to convert one of our jobs. So one of the problems we have with GitHub Actions is it can be quite lengthy when it runs tasks, especially if you're just fixing a typo and a change set. It's rerunning all the actions and kicking things off, and the build time for changing a typo and a change set or changing a bit of documentation is about 9.5 minutes, it's actually nearly 10 minutes, which is quite a lot of time considering. And it's also bad, for the environment, power-wise, et cetera, things like that. And so obviously always looking for ways to reduce that. And Turbo Repo, of course, has recently been acquired by Vercel. And I honestly looked at it. I thought it was kind of an equivalent to PNPM. I really like PNPM, so I was like, nice, and then kind of moved on and didn't look into it too deeply. It turns out it can be used alongside PNPM. And so Rich applied it to this PR, and it reduced that build time from 10 minutes to 1 minute, 16 seconds, which I still haven't quite figured out how it's done that. There's some kind of absolute magic going on. It has some other features such as like signing the third-party repositories, things like that for integrity and security. But yeah, that build time reduction, because it's using PNPM still anyway, maybe Sean could shed some light on how that works.
This is one of the very, I guess, basic propositions of why Turbo Repo was acquired by Vercel. There's some synergy here. So if you look at the PR, this is PR 4611 in SvelteKit. line like 11 and 12, the additions are the Turbo token and Turbo team, and then there's also a Turbo cache key. And that gives you a hint that I think they are using the remote caching feature that Vercel has enabled. So what that means is every build and every step of the build is uniquely hashed and uploaded to Vercel. And that means that any user, so that increases the build speeds for CI for the SvelteKit project. But also it means that if you use Turbo Repo on your local machine, you get to download the same build that was built in CI because it's a unique hash. So that is the huge speed and the huge sort of synergy that Vercel offers because it already has a CDN that it just sends you assets anyway. So yeah, I got very bullish about Turbo Repo end of last year. And I wrote a little blog post about why Turbo Repo, so you can go a little bit more into that. But I think just generally, you can see that our tooling is shifting towards supporting mono repos. It's just a best practice in a lot of cases. Obviously, for a project like Svelte and SvelteKit, you want to have that. But I think increasingly you're going to see, even for very basic apps, you're going to want a mono repo just for like, here's our component library, here is our testing, here is our app. And having the mono repo set up from the start makes it a lot easier for you to do a lot of like the standard development tooling that you've come to be very used to.
Yeah, it sounds very nice, especially the end result here of bringing it from 10 minutes to 1 minute. And so,
yeah,
you take this and like run it forward. The stack that we used in 2020, maybe 2019, 2020, might be completely replaced by 2030, right? Like so, from node to Dino, from npm to pnpm,
yep.
From we did not have anything for Turbo Repo, and then we had Turbo Repo, and then from Webpack to Vite, just like the whole generational shift is happening, and that's kind of the third age of JavaScript thesis.
Yeah,
wild,
definitely. All right, any other topics, or do you guys feel like we should move on to unpopular opinions?
Oh God, I need to come up with some unpopular opinions.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I don't have any.
I have one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah. So mine is, and I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion. I feel like it is because most people like use. All right, I'm just gonna start with what it is. All right. So SaaS products are expensive and overrated, and you should look at self-hosting more stuff. That's it.
Yeah, Antony had that like a year ago. I remember Antony ranted about it.
Yeah,
you had a rant about SaaS pricing, but same thing.
Yeah. Well, more the void between the low and the high, I guess, to jump. But yeah, I agree. Like,
right.
I mean, self-hosting's got its own caveats as well, though, right?
Absolutely. But like, so it depends on what you need from your SaaS products as well, I guess. And you can always use SaaS products that are open source, so you could self-host them, I guess. That makes sense. That gives you also like a way of probably migrating easily to hosted one in case you need it. So we recently at Svelte Society stopped like using a lot of paid products. So we stopped using Dropbox, and there are a couple of others that I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, right. Yeah. So the marketing solution. So we're doing self-hosted marketing. And we just rented a server, for like a dedicated server. It costs like 34 euros a month or something. It's nothing. Like, and you get a proper server with like 20 terabytes of traffic. It's like, it's never going to run out of resources for what we're doing. And it's still cheaper than like piling on all of these services like Dropbox, and I think we used Email Octopus, it was called. So now we're just using something called Listbunk and AWS for sending the emails. And we went from, I think, $30 a month to, I don't know, like 50 cents or $1 for the email alone. So yeah, it's a pretty neat way of saving money, and yeah, definitely something to look at.
Yeah, if you're recouping the costs like that, you're probably covering the overheads of maintaining your own server. A lot of a lot of my aversion to self-hosting is just the maintenance, security, things like that. And I think that, if the saving is significant enough, then it's definitely worth doing. But I think a lot of stuff that even we do, as a company that's got a lot of traffic and stuff, we can do using just free SaaS tiers. And then, occasionally we'll bust a limit there and we'll go, well, it's now worth us paying a little bit more money to upgrade. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of depends on what you're doing and how you're doing it, I suppose. But it sounds like you made a decent saving on email alone.
Yeah. So I guess the counter argument here is that like if you're blasting through limits, that's probably a good problem.
Yeah.
You're probably getting sales and a lot of users and stuff, so it pays for itself. But yeah, like for an org like Svelte Society that doesn't like sell a product, I think it kind of makes sense.
We should sell products. We should sell swag.
Yeah. So
sure.
it is planned. So I think there will be swag at the Svelte Summit event later this year.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try getting some T-shirts and hoodies at least, but like stickers for sure. Definitely stickers.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. All right. Yeah, that's my unpopular opinion.
I have a last minute one. I don't know how interested you guys are to talk about it, but because this is not technically Svelte, but this section is not Svelte specific anyway. So Redwood is viable now. So Redwood.js is the sort of Rails for JavaScript attempt from Tom Preston-Warner, who is the founder of GitHub, and Jekyll and YAML and a bunch of very influential. Did you know he also wrote the Semver spec?
Wow.
No, what?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I think it just comes out of being super early in open source and just being involved in all the things that you need for open source. And turns out Semver is pretty important. Anyway, so Redwood basically is a selection of React's ecosystem libraries and tooling, including Prisma and React Hook Form and just a bunch of other stuff, except for styling. Anyway, I had a debate with him for the styling piece. And they were announced maybe 3 years ago, and then they had some noise about in 2020, and then complete silence for the last 2 years. So I thought they were dead. And recently they had, this last week they had a 1.0 release where they showed off a bunch of they showed a demo, they showed a bunch of startups that are building on it. And I think it's just a really nice idea, a really nice demonstration of you can build quietly, and then when you're ready to launch, try to do as specially launch as possible. And this is how to do it. And it's very difficult to do something like this because people don't want you to succeed, or people are cynical of your success, right? Like, who needs another React, based framework? So what they did was they picked a focus, and their focus was, if you're building a full stack startup and you want to be productive out of the box with React, here's a curated, cohesive toolkit that is built for you and has been built over the past 3 years by a very capable team. And they follow that up with 10, 12 different startups that are building on it. Some of them small, some of them are more like side projects, but some of them are actually substantial. And I don't know, I just thought it was a very good example of how to launch things. Even if you don't like the tech itself, you can study it just for if you ever want to work in something like this in the future, this is the playbook. And I thought it went really well. And it also shows this is the way that people like Tom Preston-Warner ship stuff. If you're shipping something like Jekyll or GitHub or anything like that, you have to grind for a few years.
Yep.
So wait, so you invented YAML?
Sorry, TOML.
Oh, TOML. Okay, yeah. Not YAML.
TOML stands for Tom's markup language, which is his name.
Yeah, no, I thought it was YAML.
I'm sorry, I misspoke.
That's funny.
I was going to say, because it's YAML, then that's controversial.
Yeah. So I mean, it does seem like there are a couple organizations, like Remix is up and running, Redwood is up and running, and then Blitz.js has now pivoted as well. But I think the React ecosystem is still building out, and hopefully, from Svelte, we don't have the numbers to support that, but hopefully SvelteKit itself can keep a watch on what those ecosystems are learning and maybe borrow some lessons.
Yeah, I'm starting to more and more feel like it'd be nice to have certain stuff built in, like have everything for auth like just ready to roll pretty much, because you always need that. And there are other things that you need as well. Like, I guess we have testing, right? With Playwright.
Auth is very opinionated, right? Auth can be done a million different ways, and I think you either put something in that becomes a plugins architecture, which is really difficult and messy, or you put in something that allows one way of authenticating and then ignores everything else. So it's a difficult one to sell, really, I think.
Yeah, you might be right.
I think it's a store. I think I have a project called the Everything Store, where we just put all these things in. Hopefully it's out of the box. Next.js has next auth, which hopefully does the same thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how much you can make it generic.
Yeah. Well, just like OAuth, right? That'd be one way of doing it.
Yeah, I'm also very interested in seamless translation of local state to persisted state. So can we have the same API for component state going up to application state, going up to maybe URL state, going up to user state that's persisted in the backend, going up to team state and organization state, something like that.
So that's I don't know if this is exactly what you're looking for, but I got demoed a product, I think day before yesterday, might have been yesterday. Well, anyway, like a persistent, like from client to server kind of store thing for Svelte and other JavaScript frameworks. It was pretty cool. It's not released yet, so I can't really say anything about it. But
okay, there are a few of these. Convex is the one that I've been talking to. Convex.dev, and then I think there's a bunch of these. AWS Amplify also has that. It's just a bit more heavyweight. Yep. And then you could also look at maybe MongoDB Realm. All these sort of local database in your app thing.
Yeah. So this was pretty cool. I thought the idea was pretty cool, and I think it might be really nice to work with, especially with SvelteKit. So I'm pretty excited to see him release that probably in the next couple of weeks as some kind of beta or something. We'll see.
I have a controversial opinion.
Oh, okay. Wait! Before you start, so Sean, your unpopular opinion is that you shouldn't necessarily release stuff.
No, the opinion is just like Redwood is viable now.
All right. Okay.
When most people were dismissing it, including myself.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. All right, Antony. Sorry.
Yeah, my controversial opinion is that I should not be banned from Twitter. That's my controversial opinion.
But you're banned from Twitter?
Yeah. So this person tweeted yesterday. Somewhere, they tweeted, "How do I lose £20 in a week?" And I thought, whatever, it's fun. I'll respond, "Cut your arm off." And so I responded, "Cut your arm off." And then Twitter immediately banned me, saying that I'm promoting or encouraging suicidal self-harm, which I understand the concept, but maybe that algorithm's needs a bit of tweaking. And they said you can delete the tweet if you want. It's like an automated thing, or you can submit an appeal. And because I want them to see their algorithm needs tweaking, I've submitted an appeal. They said it'll take 12 hours. I'm still banned, so I'm guessing I'm now on like 24 hours, 48 hours. I'm not sure how long ago I got banned, but it's very annoying, and I disagree with the ban.
Well, maybe it changes when the new owner takes over, right?
What?
Did you guys see that? The Elon Musk put in a bid for I think 43 billion for Twitter.
Yeah, he's also trying to do a hostile takeover, right? He's already screaming the shareholders over. I mean, the problem with that is Elon Musk hasn't got very good opinions. So,
well, he still has money and he can probably buy it. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So I did not see that, and I own Twitter shares.
Oh no! You've got a conflict of interest there, Sean.
Why?
Is it your ethics or is it your wallet that's going to win out?
What are you talking about? I just got a lucky payday.
Well, that's what I mean. That's the money, but then Elon will own Twitter.
Oh, I don't care.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean,
Wait, the stock price hasn't moved. What is this?
Really?
Bullshit.
That is weird. He put in a bid for $54.20 a share.
The stock is at 47, and it's like that's nothing.
Maybe there's some.
Nobody believes him anymore. He
Yeah,
has
exactly.
cried wolf too much.
Yep. Maybe that's a good thing for him though. In this case, so he like tells people he's going to bid it. Maybe that's not legal though. Like if you bid 54, can you actually buy it for less if the market cap is lower?
When has Elon
Probably
ever
not.
worried about legality?
Yeah,
He just manipulates whatever he needs to do and then just buys
people.
All right, enough about Mr.
Stonks.
Musk. Yeah.
And stonks.
Do you guys have any picks?
I had one. Oh, Kevin here, Nextcloud.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's I can go first. So that's basically continuing on the unpopular opinion one. It's just so Nextcloud is pretty much I guess you could call it a self-hosted Google Docs, Google Sheets thingamajig that also has support for file sharing and stuff. So it works very well for as a replacement to Dropbox, at least what I'm using it for.
Okay. So that's nextcloud.com, and it's the self-hosted productivity platform that keeps you in control.
Yep.
And it's presumably open source. It even has a Wikipedia page, which is pretty interesting. So looks like it's been around for a while.
Yeah, it's very nice. Like definitely something I'd recommend.
Wow. I can't believe I haven't heard of this.
Yeah, you can host photos and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So the feature set. Oh, there's modular, so you can have a lot of plugins. And yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there. Okay. All right.
It does have email as well. That's handy because Google Workspace is starting to charge grandfathered in customers like myself. Means that a lot of people are looking to move away. So it could be an interesting option.
Yeah. Ooh, I gotta put in another pick here.
Yeah.
If you guys are fine with that.
You can have mine.
All right. Sean, do you want to go first before I do my second one?
Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So I recently switched email providers from this service called Fastmail to something called Purely Mail. And Purely Mail is just one person running this company. And it basically lets you pay a set fee for an unlimited amount of accounts and domains. And since I have a lot of domains and accounts and stuff, I can just get, I think I pay like $1 a month for all of my emails and all of that. And that's compared to Fastmail, which was, I think, $60 or $70. So that's a big win.
It's kind of brave to say that you're a one-person company, isn't it? Because it maybe impacts confidence in people that you'll be around, in a year's time.
Yeah, it's and I mean, like, especially if you're running an email hosting service, that needs to actually deliver email and stuff.
It's like super key man syndrome, key person syndrome, isn't it?
Yep.
Scary.
Okay. Shall I do my one? Mine's pretty quick. So this is a pic of a tweet that I made. And I only do it because it randomly became the most popular tweet I've ever done. And it's about Twitter as well. And basically, so what this is everyone wants an edit button for Twitter, but you cannot. But they've been resisting it for a very long time because of the problem of people editing what they say after you've endorsed it, which seems to be a intractable problem, but somehow they're trying to figure it out. And in the meantime, they have this sort of premium product called Twitter Blue, where they let you have a timeout, kind of like Gmail lets you edit doesn't actually send your email when you tell it to send the email. It holds on to it in case you want to undo. And so they have a 20-second undo thing in Twitter Blue if you pay $3 a month for that feature set. And it turns out that this Twitter undo feature is browser only. So if you close the window after sending, you lose the tweet that you just made. And so basically what Twitter did is implement set timeout and charge you $3 a month for it. And I thought that's pretty funny.
So basically we need to charge
excellent.
$3. We can charge $3 a month to create a browser extension that sits over the top of the tweet button and delays 20 seconds and then clicks it for you.
Easy money. It's been like that for ever since Twitter Blue has been around, which is 7-8 months. And I'm just like, if this doesn't motivate you to ship your shitty side project, then I don't know what will.
Yeah.
Just ship it.
So that was actually your most popular tweet ever?
Ever, yeah.
Wow. I bet you didn't expect that.
Of course not, yeah. I was just making a shit post. But this is okay, there are a few ranking factors. If you want to get really meta, like, okay, people like talking about Twitter on Twitter, yes. Okay, and then like, is it funny? Yes. And then is it sort of is an audience tweet fit? Yes, because front end and criticism of a large publicly listed company. And then there's a bit of motivation at the end, which I talked about, side projects. So I actually, retroactively I can break down like why I did well, but also, I mean, I don't really care.
Right. Yeah. All right. I think that's all of us. Or Antony didn't have one, right?
I didn't really have a pick. Maybe I did have a pick. Maybe my pick today is a plyo push-up. Because I saw on Twitter there was a thread, actually, speaking of Twitter, and the thread was, can any developer do 25 push-ups? So some kind of like engagement bait tweet like that, saying that all developers are weak or whatever else like that. And a bunch of people, including Ken Wheeler, just replied to that. He little video of him doing some push-ups. And I was thinking, actually, push-ups are cool and everything, but I really like plyo push-ups. So if you don't know what one is, it's where you do a push-up, and at the top of the push-up you push your hands away from the floor so you're in the air, and you clap, and then you land on your hands again, and you repeat that. And it's obviously just adds a bit more kind of like, they say, explosiveness to push-ups, but it's interesting. But yeah, so I think my pick is just to play a push-up, and everyone should do them because it's very healthy.
All right, cool. All right, thanks everyone for listening once again. We'll be back next week with another episode, and until then, goodbye.
Bye.